So, as non binary people, I think dating is a little complicated for us. A lot of the time, we get a little scared because we're not too sure how a potential partner might react to our identity. And I'm not gonna lie, as a trans non binary person myself, this is a worry of mine as well, not being seen as who I really am. So, I figured I'm not the only non binary person who would be worried about that. So, I thought let's take a look at what some other non binary folks have to say about it, their experiences with dating, if they have any tips or not, what I think about those tips, and hopefully help any non binary person out who is looking to get into dating feel a little bit more confident and know how to handle certain things. So let's get into it.
If you are non-binary and you're struggling with dating because you're very gender fluid, you're very non-binary, and you're struggling finding people who want to date you, the answer, let me tell you, the answer is bisexuals. Find a bisexual. That's the answer. Bisexuals. Find a bisexual. Bisexual women I find are fairly easy to find. Bisexual men, however, they're a little bit more elusive. They're a little bit more hidden. I find that usually they're in straight spaces. They're a little bit more, it's a little bit more stigmatized to be bisexual if you're a man. So they tend to be hidden a bit more. Find a bisexual if you're non-binary. Bisexuals are the answer.
So, I personally agree with this content creator. If you're a non binary person looking to get into dating, finding a bisexual, pansexual person, honestly, anyone in the queer community might be a good idea for you. I know that there are a lot of non binary people out there who have dated straight folks and unfortunately didn't have the greatest experience with that and were forced into certain gender roles and customs by their partner to make their partner feel more comfortable. So, yeah, that's why I personally think that it's a good idea to date someone who's in the queer community. So, hopefully, they might have a little bit more of an understanding of you and your gender and seeing you as your gender and not the gender you were assigned at birth, and not try to force you as a non binary person to fit into strict gender roles that they want you to be in the relationship.
Are you up for a joyride later?
Where do you want to take me?
Guess.
So I definitely think that this is a very important thing to talk about in non-binary spaces and just dating in general in queer spaces, because there are cis men in queer spaces. I think there is a lot of, unfortunately, lack of knowledge when it comes to gender identity and wanting to learn a bit more about that from the cis men that are in the queer community. And I wish there were more cis men in the queer community that did talk about gender in a more nuanced way and not having very strict roles that they want their partner to play out. Is it bad or wrong to be attracted to cis men? No, it's not. You can be attracted to men. You can be attracted to cis men. It's literally valid. The thing is, the thing that I wish was understood a little bit more is that cis men were able to have a little bit more nuance when they're dating someone who's non binary and actually seeing that person for their gender. But I think that's something that's important to talk about in general for cis partners, whether the person is a man or a woman, to be a little bit more understanding and deprogram themselves and make sure that they're actually viewing their non binary partner as non binary and not what they have in their pants. So, if there are any cis folks out there who are interested in a non binary person, please, please, please do your research, talk to them about their gender, make sure that you're doing the internal work to not see the person you're interested in or your partner as the gender they were assigned at birth, because it is very harmful for the non binary person to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't see us for who we really are. We just want to be seen. That's it. So, yeah. Please, please do better.
Here's some red flags that I ignored in my past situationship that I will never be ignoring ever again. Red flag number one: if you are non-binary and they do not understand the concept of gender, you cannot make them understand the concept of gender. If they misgender you and don't correct it, red flag. They probably still see you as a woman. The whole identity situation, they're not gonna understand. Red flag number two: if you go into a conversation expecting to get your feelings validated and at the end of the conversation you feel like you asked for too much, That's a red flag. If you are feeling uncomfortable in a situation, you should be able to come and express that to your partner and feel validated and reassured, and not feel like the tables turned and all of a sudden it's your fault and you did something wrong. No. Do we want more of these? Because I have so many more.
So overall, this is great advice, but I am going to be focusing on the first section that they were talking about, which is if your partner does not understand the concept of gender and non-binary genders, they keep misgendering you. That is a red flag. That is them not respecting you, your identity. They're not fully seeing you as who you are, which unfortunately, I'm like, I hate to say this, but the person or people you're in a relationship with, you want them to see who you truly are. You want them to respect you. You want them to see you. And if they are continually misgendering you or not correcting themselves or not, like I said, unpacking all of that internalized stuff that they've learned from society and the binary that we've all grown up in, that's a problem. That's not something that can easily go away, and that's something that has to come from them. You cannot force someone to do the work themselves. You cannot force someone to respect your identity. And it is something unfortunate as non-binary people we deal with a lot. It is something that, because a lot of people think non-binary is a new thing and it's something they haven't necessarily encountered before, they're not going to do the internal work to see you as your gender. They'll just be like, oh, you're a spicy woman or a spicy man, which is not what being non-binary is. It's who we are. So yeah, that's definitely something that I wish more non-binary folks knew when it comes to dating, that, and just trans people in general, I wish understood that a little bit more when it comes to dating, that if they are continually misgendering you, please dump them. I know you love them. I know you like them, but like, please, you deserve to be treated with love and respect, because you are your gender. You're valid, and you deserve someone who truly sees you as you are, because that's the most beautiful thing in the world. Unfortunately, you can't make someone do the work for themselves, no matter how much you love or care about them. And you deserve to be seen in a relationship fully as you are. I had one more I was gonna react to, but I've been coughing. Allergies are kicking my ass this year. Holy shit. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any tips for non-binary people in dating. I also have some tips, so if you would like to see 5 tips on non-binary dating or how to date as a non-binary person, leave a comment down below so I know that you would want to see that kind of video. Also, I just want to shout out my lovely patrons. They help support this wonderful channel, and if you want to help support this lovely channel as well, be sure to check that out in the link down below. It helps support this wonderfully queer channel and the other channels that I now have as well, and those channels will also be down in the description. Thank you all again. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully not as stuffy and sounding like this. Bye.